Welcome to today's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. Today we have coming to me from a very long way away, the gentleman behind the new short film, Mad Max: Hope and Glory. I got lucky enough to discover this because, for one time, YouTube actually favored me with their algorithm, and I saw this. And being a Mad Max fan, I watched it, fell in love with it, and I had to have these guys on the show. So, gentlemen, tell us about yourselves.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having us. And yeah, my name is Erik. I'm one of the directors of Hope and Glory. Adrian is not here. He is shooting another movie right now, so he excuses himself, but sends his greetings. So um, with me is a guy that's very important for the whole movie that you are seeing because he's our cinematographer. Johannes, please.
Yes. I'm Johannes. I'm also producer of Hope and Glory, but also cinematographer. And yeah, so us three, we were the heads behind this adventure. Yeah.
Now, give us a little bit of your background, gentlemen. Erik, how did you get into film?
I think it's like from 6 years old, I was introduced to the first movies. It was like really classic movies by my dad, and yeah, he introduced us to the filmmaking world with like really old classics, and let us grow into like modern movies. So it took a while until I got to see Mad Max because it actually was one of the forbidden movies in Germany for the longest time, especially the second one because yeah, the German censorship group feared that chaos, rape, and violence will like dominate the land if this movie is going to be shown like uncensored. So yeah, since I think only 5 years or so, Mad Max is actually like visible like uncut, you know. And
Wow.
I think Fury Road and Thunderdome brought it more into the mainstream. And yeah, so I always like to tell stories. I'm from the drawing background, you know. I drew comics before I had my first camera because cameras are more expensive than a pen and a sheet of paper. And yeah, so I think the digital filmmaking, the democratization, how can you say this? The whole process when it got more available to more than the big studios was like, of course, a chance we had to jump on of, and that's where Johannes came into play because he got one day his first camera in his hands.
Yeah, exactly. Because I grew up without television, without the access to cinema. But lucky enough, I had friends with a camera. So one day they gave me the camera, and yeah, it was like really like a moment that I really remember. Because yeah, and from that moment, I started filming stuff with my friends and. Yeah, realized, okay, that's what I want to do for a living. And I did some apprenticeship, and that brought me to film sets. And yeah, so I'm working on like big Hollywood film sets as a camera assistant. And besides that, I work on my own films. And I love those two parts of my job, of my career, because I can learn from the big Hollywood sets, and I can bring that knowledge to my own films. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's watching the film. You made really good use of the budget because you're never going to be able to make the Fury Road. And for those who don't know, Hope and Glory is bridges the gap. No, I wouldn't say bridges the gap, but does fall in between Thunderdome and Fury Road. And it's with what you were able to work with. and I don't know the budget or nothing yet. But you guys really did a lot with what looks like a shoestring, you know. So you guys were, you know, I guess you took that, you made something that was looked really, really good for what budget you had. I guess that makes sense there. Um, so how did you guys decide on making Hope and Glory? Because that was a comic book. I mean, that was, and it's a pretty good direct translation too. So how'd that come to
Absolutely.
fruition?
Well, you have to be crazy to just think, okay, let's do a Mad Max movie in Germany, and because we have so much, you know, we are famous for our desserts,
Yeah,
desert. You
your
know,
big
I
wide open
always like,
deserts and
yeah, yeah. It's like no, we have the Black Forest, we have the Alps. Um, we said, okay, let's do a movie with things we have. And since we had like the Interceptor, since we knew crazy locations that were indoors or underground in our case, since we knew we had like this hangar, this old Soviet hangar there in the middle of Germany, we thought, okay, if we bring Mad Max into situations that are previously unseen, we could not be like directly compared with like the broad landscapes we see in Fury Road, which they shot in Namibia most of all, and said, okay, let's concentrate, let's focus, let's bring the story like let's put pressure on Max. Let's bring him like into situations where he gets to be confronted with himself and make it really small because of as you said previously, Fury Road is its own thing and it's a masterpiece in action filmmaking, and we could only lose. So we said if we do this, we cannot copy what has been done before, because then we are in the best case scenario just another copy, you know, just like just lazy. And so we wanted to explore this previously unseen parts of the wasteland, which you have only seen like in the comic book or parts of it in the video game of the same name in I think 2015, and really show something that's not been seen before in other Mad Max movies. And in this case, we did bring everything in front of the camera that we had. And I think that's a recipe for all filmmakers out there to really limit yourself in the things that you don't have, because the ships, for example, that are integral in the visual part of the movie and really like hopefully stay in your mind after you've watched the movie. These are specific shots that we always designed to open up the world because it's so narrow, because it's so focused, and could make them, you know, as they are right now, really like stay on a level that's really that really can show everybody, okay, now we can be on par with Hollywood productions if we don't, as you said, on the shoestring budget, overreach. And yeah, hopefully we've done that.
well, I do have to ask you, you said you already had an Interceptor. How did you already have an Interceptor?
Johannes,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, I just have to drink
Okay.
something. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's actually how the whole project started. Because Adi, the other director, he fell in love with the idea of making a Mad Max film, and he didn't have that one prop that's like really important for Mad Max, which is
Yeah.
the Interceptor. So he decided, or he said, ah, nice, I'm a car mechanic, so I can just build myself one. So yeah, it took several months to build the Interceptor. Later, fun fact, later we built another one, so we had two Interceptors. Um,
First one
because
took 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
2 years, okay.
The first one, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He was faster on the second one because he knew, okay, that's how it works.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's how the key prop of the film started, and like that key prop also brought many more people to this project, because in the beginning many people said, you're not able to make a Mad Max film. It's too big. It's, yeah, you can't do it. And then he started building that Interceptor, and that made people think, oh wow, okay, now we have the key prop. Maybe it's possible. And yeah, that's how everything started.
Okay. Well, it is. I go way back. I am a Mad Max fan since as long as I can remember, because I didn't get to see it. I don't think I saw Mad Max in the, you know, theater. I think I saw Road Warrior at the drive-in when I was a little kid. But I'm one of the ones that when a lot of people talk about their dream car, you know, you got this guy what's the Ferrari, you know, this is. I was like, they're like, what do you want? I was like, I want the Mad Max Interceptor. End of discussion. That's the car I want. I got the little toy over there on a shelf, and I'm my wife jokes around because she's fascinated with the movie Fallout, for the video games and the TV series and stuff like that. I was like, you have your post-apocalypse, I have my post-apocalypse. But yeah, the car is just the iconic, you know, outside of Max himself, that car is the co-star of all the movies, you know, even though it gets trashed in every movie. But yeah, that's amazing. Did you know what he turned into the Interceptor? What car did he start with?
Yes, it was a Jaguar, the first one, and the second one was a Gran Torino, actually.
Oh, it's
It
great.
was much bigger and really had this over 2 tons like of car power. Yeah, and a real V8. We have to say that.
Has the real V8.
Um, and as you said,
Both,
it's
both
like
cars.
yeah, it's another character, and it's
Yeah.
very important to for us to point that out. It's so important for us that we spent 2 days after filming was completed, just recording every sound, every creak, every roaring of the motor of the V8 to really give the character like all the different facets and all the nuances you could provide. And Adrian, as the car lover he is, really wanted to do a Mad Max movie where the Interceptor really survives from beginning to end. And as the YouTube comments suggest, many people uh, hoped for the same and were really happy when in the end everybody died, but the Interceptor was all
The
right.
Interceptor survives, yes. Well, it is, like I said, it's one of the main characters and has been since day one. And you know, there's that epic shot that has been in every Mad Max movie where you get, I mean, you guys even got it with the engine, you got the belt starts spinning and stuff like that. You have to have that. If not, I don't think it feels like it's a Mad Max movie.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Now we
So
always had
it
that.
took us also some time, yeah, to
Yeah.
design all those shots with the Interceptor. We really wanted to treat it as a main character of the film. Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's that is the
I
epic
think,
shot right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
here
100%.
it
So
is.
Erik is showing one shot of the Interceptor of our storyboard, because we draw, like, Erik draw a storyboard at the beginning of the production with more than 500 pictures actually. We worked on that storyboard also during production. For every filming block, we changed stuff or during filming, but that was like the key like the thing we worked on, and we used as a springboard for new ideas, and we yeah used for all of us to have the same vision. And yeah, so
Absolutely. And
Erik
that's
just showed
yeah.
this one really nice shot where you have like the supercharger on the right side and Max on the left side, and which is iconic for the Interceptor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's really important. I think the storyboards helped us as the Mad Max Wasteland does not exist yet. Everything had to be built. Every set had to be thought of. Every VFX shot had to be accounted for or had to be like argued for, because there was some stuff that like got cut out or even not filmed, because we said no, we want to focus on high quality VFX shots. And as the VFX breakdown shows, I think at this point, the VFX breakdown, yeah, it's online, of course, yeah, since 2 days. You can see it on our channel of Brightstone Pictures. We really had to see, okay, what can we do in camera and what has to be done, what has to be augmented by CGI, what has to be a model work, what has to be commed in After Effects, what could be a matte painting. And with the storyboards, we could really like say, okay, this has to be shot in Spain. This could be done in Germany. This could be done in a quarry. This has to be done in the real desert. And that way we really could plan, okay, we need so many days in Spain, for example, to do all the aerial photography. And yeah, could just like make out, okay, 1 week is enough. Let's go there. But yeah, now I'm jumping forward in time, because Spain was never something we believed in until we had done like 90% of the movie and realized, okay, no, we cannot go back. Now we cannot take a shortcut. We have to go all in and bring this baby home.
Yeah, because you did the what Sergio Leone effect there. You have to go to Spain to make the desert look like. So you're essentially making the roundabout spaghetti western with Mad Max. Uh,
Yeah.
It's a Western on wheels.
yes, it
Yeah.
is 100%. It has been since day one. It's the bad guy and the gangs and the yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Now you do aerial shots. Is it drones, or do you do use a lot of drones in that, or
Yeah, we found some drone company in Germany, which were crazy enough to follow us 2,500 kilometers to Spain in the desert in winter time, when like in sandstorms and 0 degree. It was like really hard working conditions. And yeah, we actually, they were so nice that they had like big drones and said, yeah, but we want to support your project. And so we put like a really expensive big camera. So the drone was 30 kilograms heavy. And we flew with that drone through the Spanish desert and got really amazing material and really high quality stuff.
because that's an amazing shot with the Interceptor driving through the dark, and you got that overhead shot that's a well put together shot. And it because you have the wrecked Interceptor, got the one headlight, and it's just shining off into the darkness as you come. It's well done. I got to give you guys 100% credit on that one. That was a beautiful shot.
Yeah, I mean, the nighttime drone shots were actually like even more hard, because we didn't have only one drone, but we had two drones, like one drone with a light, with a moonlight, and one drone which was filming. And we had the Interceptor, and we had like 0 degree, a sandstorm, and yeah, by night. So it was like those two shots by night with the drone. They were super hard to film. I don't think you can really like see how hard it was in the movie itself. But like, yeah, to coordinate everything and to say like, ah, no, I don't want I want the drone to like be 10 meters more to the right or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really tough. Yeah.
Well, if you can go through all the crap and having it in the sandstorm stuff and make it look like that none of that exists, then that is good filmmaking there itself. Because you if you had to go through that and you get a beautiful shot, it's worth it to know the fact is that on the other side of this is garbage because of the bad weather and everything. And people assume, because it's the same problem they ran in with the original Mad Max or Road Warrior. It was cold, and people don't realize deserts get really, really, really cold. There's nothing to hold the heat in at night. It just dissipates. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Actually, that's a thing of about the whole production, because we had really hard working conditions. We shot most of the film in wintertime because there like crew is available, and equipment is available. And yeah, but anyway, we found super motivated people who just said like, oh wow, on this project we can do things we've never done before in Germany, and we can produce stuff that really stays in the mind of people, and we can like we get this play field. We can, yeah, I don't know, and that also motivated us to go like the yeah, to not go the like the shortest way, but the way that gave the best result.
Yeah.
That's right. And people asked to be in this project, to be part of it. Whether it was like the technical side, the post-production, or yeah, the filming side. People really went into it. Nobody was enslaved. And we really we really like had this opportunity, since we are all like upcoming filmmakers, and the crew was like made of people between the age of 26 and 34, that really wanted to prove themselves, since the whole industry is based on the assumption that people can only do what they can show, which is a little bit crazy, because of course you cannot do something which is costing like 50 or 100 million dollars. And yeah, we wanted to do that in a small scale, but where you get a feeling like, okay, if we give them actually like a budget, or actually time and the proper conditions to work on something, maybe there's something there, and it's just like a proof of concept basically for everyone. It's a big learning curve that
Yeah.
we all really can look back on, and it's something that showed us there's so much possible. um, and that's just on the basis of love, because as you said, it's a shoestring budget, if even that. It's a no budget movie made purely out of love and passion. But since we all want to enter into the film business, and it's now I have to underline business side of the whole thing, we of course look for a way to make the whole filmmaking process a way where people can make a living with, where they can flourish, where they can grow, and where they can, yeah, sustain a living, maybe even have a family. This one, yeah, it's just like a 40-minute long like card we can just show and say, look at this, and it's a feast for your eyes.
Well, I know a few local filmmakers, and they'll do, the fan films, and a lot of people, and this goes to other people too, is it's a good, it's a visual resume. You can go, look what I've already done with this amount of money. Give me a budget and look what we can do. And it's it's so cool being able to see, because you'll see the evolution of some of these people that will make a small fan film, and then they'll actually get a little bit more budget and a little more budget, and they know where to cut corners. You know where to tighten the belt, but you still know how to make a good movie, and that shows. And it's a good calling card to be able to go, hey, look, go on YouTube. This is what I've done. You don't have to, not like back in the old day where you had to take your reels in, hand them to people and go, watch this. You can go, just here's the website. Just go to this, watch it.
There's two sides. There's like the no budget 100% love side, and then the $100 million. If you
Mhm.
just have 100 million, that doesn't make a good movie per se.
Yeah.
I mean, we see that right now in the theaters, what's been showing. And I think the mid ground is something, just to give people a way to express themselves and to really do something great. And just, meet in the middle. It's like commerce and art. They have to meet in the middle to make
Mhm.
something great. If you only have like the art side and only do everything out of passion and love, of course, it's not sustainable. And we are not looking for that. Of course, we love filmmaking, but yeah, let's see like what's possible. Where's the mid-budget movie? Do we only have to see $300 million projects that have to make a billion to just break even? It doesn't make sense. So we
Yeah.
really want to look back on the things that got made in the 70s and before, or in the early 90s, where there were these movies that were for adults and that didn't insult like the audience and have like really proper filmmaking at hand and not just products that are made by corporations that are interested like in dollar signs or even in their portfolio. You know, it has to have both. And right now we were on the one extreme of no budget, pure love. Let's see if we get some money, what we can do with another screenplay in full length, hopefully, that actually can be shown in cinemas or on streaming.
The you guys, the way you did this really goes back to the way they filmed the original Mad Max. It was kind of guerrilla style. They brought in extras that was an actual biker gang. He trashed his own van. You got to go through. It's birthing pains, I guess you would call it, because you have to go through a lot to be able to go, okay, this is what I do. And then, like you said, also just because you have a big budget doesn't mean it's going to be a good movie at all. I mean, there's movies that are huge, and I'm like sitting in the theater going, "Oh, this should have been on Netflix." Uh,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, that hurts people too, because so many people now wait and don't go to the cinema and to the theater, and they do watch it at home. It's so much easier because now movies turnaround time is 30 days, I think, in a theater on average, which to me is crazy because I grew up when it felt like a year between the release of the
Mhm.
movie and before it dropped on home video. And now it's days. And I'm not gonna lie, I love theater. I love going to the movies. I went and seen Furiosa Thursday. That's what we do. Me and my usually it's my son, but this time I was like, told my wife, I was like, we're going to go see this. I was like, I don't care if nobody goes with me, I'm going. And so my wife goes, I'll go with you. And we try to make that. We go about twice a month, sometimes as many times as 4 times a month. But certain movies you have to see in the cinema on the big screen and whatnot. And you know, but that, like I said, there are people who go, "Oh, it's good, it's good. Your TV at home's good," and for me, it's not. I have a big old
It's
TV.
it's also about appreciation of the
Yeah,
filmmaking process and yeah, enjoy it in the way the filmmakers wanted it to the audience to watch it. Yeah.
yeah,
So and also like our movie was also like it is also nicer to watch it in the cinema. We also did some Dolby Atmos sound mix, which would be amazing. Like we would love the people to watch it in a movie theater, but yeah, YouTube is the best way to share it to the world. Yeah.
well, I'm going to cheat real soon with this. Um, I got my projector TV. I have a comic book shop, and I have a big white wall that occasionally we show movies on. And so my goal is that I'm going to do a Mad Max night, and we're going to put that in there, so we'll be able to show it essentially on a big screen. It's not full theater size, but it's probably 20 by maybe 12 by 8, something like that. So it's
Oh,
still
really?
good
Oh,
size.
nice.
So
Yeah,
The,
great.
the the pictures are designed for that picture size. So yeah, please go for it. And don't forget to put some nice speakers on it because we have versions like in 5.1, 7.1. We have down mixes that are really, really awesome. But unfortunately, YouTube only lets us use our stereo down mix. And as before, since Mad Max 1, the sound is so characteristic.
oh yeah,
especially Fury Road, like went all in, and now Furiosa, the sound is like the second half that is Mad Max. What would be Mad Max without hearing the V8? You know, the pictures work, but you have to feel it. You have to feel the rumble. You have to feel the seats shaking. I still remember the Fury Road screening in 2015 when I saw this, and when the chase like began and we saw the Duke Warrior. You know, it was like just yeah, it was bone chilling in the best way. And together with this, yeah, sneak it in there. It would be an honor.
It's well, they've always had really good sound mixing and soundtracks for the Mad Max movies. And I'm not gonna I the music that they have in Fury Road, um, especially when you mix it with the engine noises, will give me goosebumps. That wow, you know, and they've got it figured out. But you guys do a very good job on it. I mean, it's to hear the engine, you know, you're immersed in it for, you know, you got to have the feel. You got to, you know, you feel the car when he's driving across the road. You can feel you know, him driving across it works. And knowing it, like I said, knowing full well that you do not have you don't have a massive budget or anything, and this is a labor of love, but you guys make it feel like it belongs 100% in that universe. The fellow that you've got playing Max does a, you know, really, I'm not gonna lie, he needs to be a little dirtier. Just go.
Okay, note. Then
He's
you should be
too
good.
clean. But no, but he does a great job as Max. And the cast you got is Hope and Glory. That they all work together. And it's really, you know, you guys can tell it was a massive labor of love. You can tell that, you know, you didn't want to like, you know, cut corner here, cut corner here. If you had to, you had to cut the corner to get it in under, you know, for your budget, but you still pushed it as far as you could to barely nip that corner to go around it. So
Yeah.
it's a beautifully well done movie, and I think it's awesome. And like I said, as a Mad Max fan, I sat down here and I was like, oh, I'll watch it while I'm, you know, reading comics or something. And next thing you know, I'm just because I didn't stop. I watched the full 40 plus minutes, and I'm like literally watching to the very end. I'm like, what if they put a teaser past this or something? So it held the entire time. There was no lull, no nothing. And yes, you had a tight 40 minutes, and you know, but it fit the 40 minutes. It was a nice little story, and you know,
You know,
I
it could use a few more minutes,
yeah,
in my opinion. You know, we just had no chance to get the actors more often, or to even get ourselves more often available at the same time, and organize, yeah, a few more days in that location, A or B. It's just like what we could, yeah, it was everything we were able to do in the framework of 3.5 years. And, you know, as you said, like with the more dirt on the face, he was so dirty. You know, we smeared him up, his hair were ugly, but I think the camera takes away some of this. And
yeah,
that's something, you know, I had to learn. We all had to learn. The camera takes away so much, so you really have to go all in there. Otherwise, you know, it just gets lost in the mix, in the process.
well,
Because yeah, everything, the costumes, everything was dirtied up as you only can imagine. You should have smelled the
We didn't
costumes, my
clean
friend.
the costume. We didn't clean the costume of Max for the first, I think, 16 shooting days. Like he always, like every shooting block we had 6 shooting blocks, and every shooting block we had, like, we didn't clean in between. So he really like, oh, come on, again in this dirty clothes. And we also used coconut oil for the hair. So like we treated them already very like
well, people don't realize, and this is dumb. I've worked on a couple low budget movies, and the camera, when especially if you got to get makeup done, it has to be exaggerated, because when you're on film, then it doesn't look. So when you got to make people dirty in films, you really got to make them dirty in films to show it, to make it look reasonably dirty. You got to make it look overly dirty.
Yeah, sure.
Literally, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm doing Mad Max this year for Halloween, and I have a leather jacket on the floorboard of my car, just letting people step on it and destroy it.
Nice. Yeah, great.
And I did get my the tactical vest that he has at the end of Fury Road. I got that recently, so I do that. So, but yeah, you guys do, like I said, a very good job. And it's funny, like I said, to know full well that you have dirtied them up, like me,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, it's dirty enough. But
You know, and we put so much sweat on them, you know, with little like canisters of water. But when it's freezing cold, the actors didn't like that at all. You know, just, you know, short skirts or no sleeves, and then it was so cold. And yeah, everybody was fighting for a place at the fireplace or at the heating tower. I don't know what it's called. It was yeah, it was crazy. But you know, it's if it's too much fun making a movie, they say, I don't know if it's true. If it's too much fun, the movie often is like, you know, eh, forgettable, or yeah, it's okay. But if you have to fight for it, if it's really something people have to decide every time they step in front of the camera or behind it, to really go for it against all odds, and they're pushing the stone like upwards, then something else like gets created between the frames, a certain feeling, a certain energy. I don't know. It
And
sounds esoteric, yeah, but I
the
think there is
harshness of
something. Yeah,
the harshness of this of the wasteland also gets transported with the like the hard working conditions we had. So I think you feel how hard they are, like they have how hard their lives are in the wasteland. Yeah.
right. We always believed like if we did this all in a warm, cozy studio environment, that you wouldn't believe like the harshness, the conditions, everything that Johannes said, that it's really good to have like the wind blowing
yeah,
in their faces. Actually, yeah, Adrian, the co-director of Hope and Glory, always drove the Intercept. I think in 98% of the movie, he's behind the steering wheel. And since the Interceptor doesn't have any windows, you can imagine how cold it was for him, especially during the 5 or 6 or 7 night-long final chase scene, or in the desert, even during the day. Yeah, he always like was like a big a marshmallow man just to stay warm. And every time we said, okay, please do it again, there were two reasons he was afraid to do this. First, the cold, and second, hopefully the car will survive for another take, because all the sand getting into the compressor, into the combustion engine, the motor, everything, you know, it was like self-made. It was like built like Max would have done in the Wasteland. And so the elements really like hit the Interceptor from all sides. And whew, yeah, we are really lucky that we have this much aerial footage, because there was no guarantee that we would get that.
did the Interceptor survive? Nope.
Oh,
No,
it didn't.
So
it didn't.
disappointing.
It didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, you know, that we had to transport the Interceptor for 2,500 kilometers over the Alps, over through Switzerland, France, Germany, and it didn't survive, because we had to. Yeah, the one way to the desert was the more important way, where we couldn't like squeeze the car too tight, like on the transport vehicle. But when they drove back and there were snowstorms and whatever, they said, okay, now we have to make sure that we can go back safely. We have to make everything tight, and I think that really like crushed the whole body of the car. And yeah, I think it's only a skeleton right now,
Oh,
somewhere in the south of Germany. But the V8 lives. The
the
V8 lives,
V8
and
lives.
it's
There you
part of
go. That's the
another
important part. You got to get
car.
that heart to go put it back in another interceptor down the road. That,
What's important for me about like we were talking about the working conditions and the like really hard working conditions and what they helped also like to transport that feeling. It was not intentional to make it hard. Like we were not saying like, oh, okay, we want hard working conditions to give that feeling. It was also like because it's a no budget film, we had to shoot in winter time. And yeah, yeah. So, but
oh yeah.
yeah,
Well, I understand it because if you got to do it in essentially the quote unquote off season, because
Right.
that way you can get the actors, you can get the drones, you can get the shooting, because if you're going to do it during the key seasons, you can't get all that, or if you do, it's going to cost you a fortune that you don't have. So you got to make do what you have when you have it. So I 100% understand. It's full well on that one. And I like I said, I think and you're right. It is, you don't want to put your actors through a bunch of bull to make them like, oh, you got to be hard, but it does read on film. If people are uncomfortable and they're miserable, then if they're comfortable and miserable in real life, then they're comfortable and miserable on film, and it works. So,
yeah, definitely. And I'm really glad how not only that feeling of the harshness transported, but also like how the actors played in the craziest situations. For example, like that last scene with Glory. I'm not talking about what's happening there,
yeah.
but that was like it was minus degrees. I don't know how much, but she did incredibly well. And also the other scenes with Max, there were some like really emotional scenes, and they yeah had those hard working conditions, but still like played really well. Yeah.
No, where did you get your cast at? Where did you get Max and Hope and Glory? And
I, yeah, Adrian filmed another project, and I think Daniel was part of it, Daniel Grave. And he just thought, okay, what if I put a leather jacket on him? I have to see something. Just decided on the spot then, I think years before we even started on Hope and Glory, years before I got the idea to make something and join forces with Adrian, that he's going to be our Max. And when I said, I want to do this, Adrian, with you, Daniel Grave was already on board. I was not happy with that because I didn't know him. I didn't see any picture. But when I met him the first time, I thought, okay, no, that could work, and it did work. For me, he really is not a copy of Mel Gibson, not like a cheap Tom Hardy knockoff, but really is like doing his own thing and interpreting him as this lone wolf, really like anti-social and really like not comfortable interacting with other people and really like awkward in the best sense, but also carrying like a strength and a certain heroism with him. And that's what I looked for when I was on the search for Glory, because she had to be that girl in a way.
Mhm.
If she was too far away, if she was afraid to get dirty, if she was afraid to get put down like 9 meters deep in this well, in this old middle-aged well, uh, and all the brutality and the action and yeah, she had to be comfortable doing this. Yeah, but I think those two puzzle pieces and Alec Rosenthal with his craziness and his speaking pattern as the commander was also integral to have like this like uh yeah this this character that's unpredictable and funny, but awkward, and also at the same time a little bit menacing and uncontrollable. That's not really, yeah, he's just theatrical and pretending. When people write in the comments, okay, he's too silly, he's too theatrical, that's by design, because he plays another role. The way that Max cannot speak with people and look them in the eye, he like pretends to be whatever character. It is just like an empty shell. And I think every character is so different in the way he speaks, he moves, and he presents himself. And the costumes by Willy Hessel, who really outdid himself, because yeah, that was our intention, to pack, to really like to have 40 minutes of Mad Max adventure packed with all the Easter eggs and the feeling and the atmosphere and the grittiness and the fun and the action and the brutality and the sadness that you expect from a Mad Max adventure.
Yeah, it does, and you managed to pack that in a 40-minute little tight. But you were talking about the costumes and stuff like that. How did you have somebody working on the costumes, or did you guys just start cobbling stuff together, or how did you guys come up with those costumes? That's fits. I mean, it belongs, and you guys do a great job of putting those together.
Yeah, so we had Willy Hessel, our costume designer, who is he is the one costume designer. He's not working on film actually, but he has his own YouTube channel, and he has like a big I don't know, rooms of costumes at home, and he builds every costume by himself. And he yeah, he's an
Yeah.
amazing guy. He improvises a lot with costumes, and he gave also like all the extras. Every extra has his own character. When you like watch the movie for the second time, perhaps you can have more look on the extras, and then you see, wow, how much detail is in those costumes. And it took a while. So every costume is self-made for this movie.
Oh, cool.
Right. Yeah. Willy is a vintage lover, and he has not actually rooms, but a house full of stuff. And he really like talked to me about, okay, what is this character? What is want? What does he pretend to be? And what, of course, is available at that time in space. And so the commander costume, for example, if you just freeze frame it, he made his own medals. They are really cheap. There's some fun stuff in there to realize. There are shoe soles on his shoulder, so he looks more like an officer or something. But it's all really cheap, and it's all like, yeah, it's
Well,
like a child who makes his own costume, and we wanted to have this childlike quality with him.
well,
And yeah, that way we really like delved into every character, and he just nailed it.
because I mean, even I thought that was kind of a cool throwback, because if you look at Immortan Joe's armor, it's got like a Nokia piece of a Nokia phone. It's got cobbled together what looks like from bottle caps and stuff like that to make it look like it's more important than it actually is. And you're right. I mean, you're gonna make yourself look important with what you have, and to be able to put shoe soles and this and this and this to make them more imposing and more intimidating, and it fits real well.
Uh,
Um,
Everything fit, and that was surprising. Every costume really fit, like with the actors that had to carry the costume or to wear it, except one thing or two things: the pair of shoes that Max is wearing. Max Daniel had so much trouble getting into these shoes. He could only get in there bare feet. And
oh,
as we said, it was so cold that he really did not enjoy himself, like for what was it, 28 shooting days or something for him, because it was just freezing. And sometimes he had to like put a lot of some kind of oil on it or something to just slip in there. and you can imagine how freezing it was for him during all the fight scenes and everything. So yeah, extra props to Daniel at this.
I, I'm not gonna lie. If I'd have been him, I'd have turned into Peter Cushing in Star Wars. I'm like, can you shoot me from here up? Good. I'm wearing sandals or flip flop or whatever he wore. Wear my regular shoes. And I'm like, okay, I gotta run. Okay, now I'm gonna put these boots back. Do that shot and then go back to the regular shoes. But did the same gentleman that built the Interceptors? Did he build the villain cars? Or was
Yes,
that
together with his brother Fabian Martin. Yeah, actually, the whole movie is like a big family thing and a big labor of love of brothers. Adrian and Fabian, they were on the vehicular and design side of the movie, and me and Lasse, my brother, were like writing the story, developing the fight scenes on yeah, in storyboard form, and working together on the special effects sites later on when we did some VFX work, and he did like the explosion in the beginning or the crumbling tunnel and yeah, all that stuff. And yeah, so what do you think of the Buzzard car?
they like I said, they look like they fit. It's definitely a car that somebody in the wasteland would have built, and it definitely 100% fits. And you know, even when you got your war boys at the beginning, you're like looking at that and you're like, did they? For a second I thought you like, did you go get somebody who was a war boy in Mad Max to just show up? Because you know, I hate to say this, but I'm sure those guys in the back are pretty cheap to bring in because they're like, hey, you want to continue to be a war boy? We'll bring you over here. Because you just look like a guy that had walked off the set over here and wandered onto your set, and you're just like, yep, put him over here, put him over here. It's it all fits, even for, like I said, the little budget. It's so well put together, and the design and everything, and you would never know, you know, I guess you can't say never know, but you know, if you didn't know any better, you would assume that, you know, like you borrowed a car off of, you know, like, hey, the this guy already has this. Let's bring it over here because he's already got a Mad Max design. Because I mean, here in America, I do conventions, and there's always a group that travels, and they do bring the Mad Max cars in. They bring in all the Wasteland cars. I've sat in Lord Humongous's big six-wheeled vehicle. I didn't set in the Interceptor, but I've like posed next to an Interceptor. Um, but you know, it does. It looks like you went and borrowed one off a set, shot it, and then probably took it back to.
That's high praise. That's high
Yeah,
praise. We will tell Adrian about this. Yeah, as you said, with the well put together, we have to thank Wolfgang Wohlmann, our editor, at this point, because he really gave the film its rhythm and its flow. And on his basis, because he was part of the fifth shooting block, we really like worked like out like, okay, what is the pace we want to tell the story, since we only have like 38 minutes, like without the credits. And based on his work, we found sound designers that really like smoothed everything over and like, yeah, just transported you into the wasteland. It's nothing you necessarily like notice when you watch it, but that's because it works so well. If there would have been something off with the sound, with the shots, with the atmosphere, with the ambience, with the engines, or with the music, with the whole mix, then you would say, okay, no, this is cheap. It's a fan film. You would just like write it off and say, okay, next video. Okay, cats running around in circles in the kitchen. No, but I think the sound really like pulls you in and lets you enjoy the pictures that Johannes like created here. And yeah, we're really proud to have been able to fire on all cylinders in every department, because we never said, okay, now here we take the easy road. No, we take the route that's bringing us to the best to the best result, because this film now lives forever on YouTube, and we better make sure that it's something we can look back onto, and not like be ashamed like right away after 2 months. So, oh God, what did we do here? And yeah, we always thought, okay, now it's painful, now it's hard work, but hey, now this thing, maybe somebody like you will include it like in their rewatch of the Mad
Hmm.
Max saga.
Oh yeah. Where it's definitely worked its way in now. If I go back and watch it, it's going to go boom, 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 boom. Boom, yours, then Fury Road, then Furiosa. So, and this weird part about it is I normally do that. I normally do like when the new movie comes out, I'll do like a big watch. But I had watched the original trilogy a little bit ago, and then Furiosa's coming out, so I watched Fury Road again, and then I wish I would have found your movie like 2 days before, because then I would have put that before Fury Road, then rewatch Fury Road, then watch Furiosa. So yeah, it and like I said, it fits. A lot of fan films don't, they're like they exist in that universe. So you'd have just done like an independent Mad Max story where he's got to go save a farm or something like that. Instead of doing something like that, you fit it in where it actually belongs in the series and not just in a random, offshoot story, whatever. So, and it
Yeah,
is.
and that's the interesting thing about Hope and Glory, because it's such an important story that tells the character of Max
Mhm.
and how he became the guy we meet, like this scavenger in the beginning of Fury Road. And I think many people who only saw Fury Road didn't get the deepness of the character of Max.
Yeah.
But I think if they watch our film, they will understand Fury Road even better. And that was also a thing. Like, I mean, Hope and Glory already appeared in the graphic novel, in the comic book, and also in the video game. But we saw like Erik got more influenced by the comic, and Adrian got more influenced by the video game, and they both like saw nice parts of those storylines. They're like not similar, but I mean similar but not the same. And we took the nice things out of those two stories and added some more yeah, own ideas, and yeah, that brought us to Hope and Glory, our Mad Max film, that I think tells the story of like the pre-story of Mad Max Fury Road very well.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, and it's funny because I even talked to a friend of mine yesterday, I believe. We were talking about the scenes that with the little girl and the flashes of him, like when he's running and he does the whole thing like that. People are like, well, what? I was like, there's a story before that. You go find these books and you'll find out why he does this. And then they're like, well, I shouldn't have to read this and I shouldn't have to do that. I get it, but I'm an immersive guy. I got to really get into what I'm currently, and all I did was I fed on that stuff. And then it was like when you made this, that was another dessert that I could eat up along with my dinner of already, the Mad Max that I'm already consuming. And like I said, it fits. And this is good. I want this to come off as praise and not sound bad here. Um, if you would have told me a bunch of German guys made a Mad Max film, I would have been like, no, when are they gonna make a Mad Max film? If you told me a bunch of just random Australian guys decided one weekend to make a Mad Max movie, I'd be like, that makes sense. Because that's just how it is in Australia.
That's right. That's right. And I think, yeah, we take that as praise,
Yeah.
because I think that's one thing we were really fired up by. We were like hungry and eager to prove people wrong, because as you said, most of the people reacted like this, but not like, haha, funny, but really like, oh guys, you're gonna embarrass yourselves. You will burn yourselves, you will lose time, money, and you will waste your talent. Just don't do it. Or even after we already went like 60% like of the way, please just stop it, do something else. Don't. The naysayers, they were part of the process all the time. But Johannes, Adrian, and I, we really like stood by each other's side and said, no, remember why we do this. We love this. We want to tell this story. I think this needs to be told. Someday George will see it. George Miller has this movie on his table since February, but yeah, the Furiosa press tour takes time and his focus, of course. But no, we feel in our guts it has to be done. Yes, it might sound crazy that it's three German guys that want to go on this journey, but we have to do this to do this. And until now, I think I can speak for Johannes and Adrian and myself. We are really happy with how it turns out, how people receive it, and yeah, are just don't we are not seeing it as a mistake, but really as like, no, it had to be done. And yeah, it's only right that we are here now.
Well, it's funny because you just answered what was going to be my next question. I was going to ask you if George Miller had ever got a chance to see this yet, and if you knew what he thought about it. Have you reached out to anybody else? Have you sent it off to like try to get it to like Tom Hardy or Charlize Theron or any of those guys like that?
We sent it to to Mark Sexton. He's the storyboard artist and the graphic novel writer, and also I think did he also draw
Yes,
draw parts of the comic?
Mm-hmm.
he has drawn the Open Joy storyline actually.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we reached out to him. We had some Erik had some calls with him, and he really appreciated and really loved the way we made our movie. Yeah.
Also, Mad Max Fury Road co-author Brendan McCarthy really liked it and thought it was impressive, and yeah, congratulated us. Yeah, but as you said, we I think a name like Tom Hardy, Charlize, or Mel, or George Miller would that would be something else to get their just just their review or their comment on this. I think yeah, we are looking forward to this. It will happen. I believe it will.
I may have you in with Vernon Wells. I will send this to a friend of mine who was a director, and Vernon Wells was the villain in his movie. So I might be able to get it through a couple people to somebody else for you. I mean, so that will be something I'll work on this week for you guys. Because I know he still talks to him because I talked to him not too long ago. I was actually supposed to be in a movie, but as like an extra fill-in for but I was hoping to be on the day that Vernon Wells was there, but I'd be like, I couldn't do it because I would just fan out too bad. I'm like, oh my God, you're in Mad Max, or you're in Road Warriors. Oh, but yeah, so I'm going to get it to him, and we'll see if we can get it to him. So hopefully by the end of next week, we'll see if we can get it to Vernon Wells for you guys.
Well, that's wonderful. Yeah, please. We are thankful for everyone who spreads the word because yeah, we don't have any budget. The thing like right now, it's just a pure word of mouth thing that the YouTube views like get up and up and up, and we really yeah, it's just amazing to see like how the click rate is going up and up. Yeah, so thank you for every like push you could give us.
The fact that you guys made this, number one, that like I said, several German gentlemen decided to make a Mad Max movie in Germany and Spain. To me, it sounds crazy, and the fact that you did it so well, you're just like, these guys have to love it. Because if you guys did not love what you were doing, you would not have decided to do this at all. You'd have made, because I'm not gonna lie, you have Germany, so I would have made like a Game of Thrones fan film or something like that. You have the beautiful woods and the mountains and everything, and I'm like, that's just weird to make a Mad Max movie, but you did it, and it's awesome, and I can't praise you guys enough. Um, do you you guys got to see Furiosa, right?
I did.
Yeah.
Johannes will in 2 hours.
In two
So that's
hours?
why we
Oh,
have to go now.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I had to
Well,
work this week. I had to work on film set, so I was not able, but I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
okay. Well, I'm gonna tie this up. I do have the last couple little things we ask. I always ask people, filmmakers, any words of advice for upcoming filmmakers?
Naysayers exist. They will always exist, and their voices are louder and they are hurting. Please believe in yourself. Please go forward with your ideas. Your crazy ideas, especially the crazy ones, they need to be realized because the film landscape is full of mediocre product and just like, yeah, lazy filmmaking and just same. Please go for it and trust in the process. Good things, new things, says somebody who does a Mad Max copy. But things made with love, they translate and hopefully like grab people, get their attention, and get the recognition they deserve. So please go for your ideas and let the naysayers say nay, because what they do, they just say something, but you do something.
And I have to ask, are you going to auction off any of the props from this or anything to make money for a new project, or maybe keep going in the Mad Max universe? I don't know. Would you ever sell any of the stuff from from this at all?
I mean, this is a non-commercial project, so we're not able to sell anything or yeah, sell even sell the movie or yeah.
No,
Um,
I knew you couldn't sell the movie, but I didn't know if you were allowed to sell props or anything.
yeah, no, I mean we're not selling the props. Yeah, probably giving them away for some donation.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
So, so
We have to be safe here, Warner Brothers might listen.
yeah, if
Yeah.
if you ever sell the Mad Max coat, let me know. I need a Mad Max coat. But it has been wonderful talking to you, gentlemen. I will be showing it again. I do want to ask you if it would be okay. Um, you can say no. It's I do a Friday evening sci-fi show on YouTube. I bring in old school sci-fi shows and stuff like that. Would I be able to air Hope and Glory on my show?
Of course.
Of
Okay,
course.
cool.
Yeah.
Because
I
It's
mean,
made for the people.
we want to
Yeah.
spread the word about Hope and Glory. We want to show it to the world, and everyone who wants to show it, yeah, go for it.
sweet.
Definitely.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. Because I'm going to I had an interview before this one, but since you guys are more poignant and more important right now with being connected with Furiosa and stuff like that, I think I'm going to try to edit this, which doesn't seem to be needing much editing, but I will drop this episode tomorrow at 12 noon my time. So
Mhm.
about 7 o'clock your time, I believe. What time
Yeah.
is it for you now? Is it 6 o'clock?
It's 6, right?
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
'cause I had to go through and find out how many hours ahead you are. But yeah, so I will do that hopefully tonight and have that ready for you guys tomorrow, and then maybe Friday night my viewers will get to watch Hope and Glory. If not, it'll be the following week. So fingers crossed it'll be this Friday. So I'll work on that. But where can people find you real quick before I let you guys go?
You can find us on YouTube, Brightstone Pictures, where we have the movie production trailers and the VFX breakdown lately. Just watch our shorts until we get the making of done, because the making of is coming. And I think you won't believe your eyes if you see what kind of VFX work went into this. So yeah, visit us on YouTube, Brightstone Pictures. or on Instagram under madmax.shortfilm.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate it, sirs. And you go see Furiosa because you'll love it. It's a great movie. And even my wife was like, this is really good. I'm like, I know. This is why I live in this world. That's so. All right, gentlemen, you guys take care, and thank you again so very much for doing this for me. And like I said, fingers crossed this will be up tomorrow afternoon for me. So, all right, take care, gentlemen, and I'm going to hit.